Hey y'all, welcome back to MadeToLast, where we're talking about how to add value to your spouse. So, how do you love your spouse? How do you show your spouse that he or she is number one? So, how I love my spouse is I am like his biggest cheerleader. So, I mean, when he leaves the house, he knows like, dang, he looking good, he's smelling good. It just depends. And like, oh man, you've been working out. I see all that Orange Theory workout on you, all that kind of good stuff. Please stop. And so, but yeah, that's how I show love to him. I'll compliment him on just how he handles business at the house, or man, let him change a light bulb or the smoke alarm. He goes down. But anyway, so yeah. So how do you show love?
I think adding value to your spouse is so important. And so I try to add value to you by complimenting you, by telling you that I love you, by affirming your gifts and your talent, talking about how good you are as a mom, or if you did something really good, I celebrate you for that, or talk about you as how you take care of our family and how you take care of our home, or how you decorate our home. I celebrate you in that space. So I think adding value is just encouraging you, celebrating you,
Touch me
loving
without
you,
wanting something.
Giving you long hugs. You like hugs and kisses.
No,
Hugs and kisses.
I just like a nice
long
hug.
Letting you watch your TV shows, I add value that way.
Uh-huh.
And then doing what she want to do, take her shopping sometimes. She likes to do
like,
that.
Are you?
She likes to go shop, buy stuff for the house, or buy stuff, clothes and stuff.
When is that?
And then I also, all those ways I add value. And I go support her, like she want to go somewhere, she want me to go with her, I'll go with her. And she'll say, oh, yeah, I'll go with her.
I just asked you to go
all
with me
those ways
today.
that I add value.
You said, no, I'll let you have it.
To her life. So that's how I add value to your spouse. I think the key to adding value to your spouse is to know your spouse.
Okay.
You've got to know how your spouse thinks and how they show up. And then what you got to do is meet them halfway. Like, I know what she likes. Like, she likes date nights. That adds value to her. She likes time. You know, the love languages, that's one way you do it, right? The 5 love languages: quality time, acts of service, words of affirmation. I'm forgetting a couple of them. But those 5 love languages, you got to figure out whatever your partner's love languages are. You got to figure out what are their top ones. And then when you lean into that, that adds value to them.
Okay, but
But you don't have to just use those. You can do more than that, yes.
Right. So what if you don't like I love Broadway plays.
Yep.
I love musicals.
You like musicals.
So what do you do if you don't share the same interests of your spouse? How can I still add value?
If you don't share the interests,
Yeah.
you just got to fake it through it. You just go
Not
there and
fake
you
it
just
through
sit there and you just go through it for them. You sacrifice for them.
Oh my goodness. Okay. What about so Brian, what's your love language?
My love language is probably words of affirmation.
Okay. You're lying, but okay.
It ain't acts of service, and it ain't quality time. That's yours though. You like quality time. You like time. You like a lot of time together.
Oh, don't say it like
That's
that.
not negative. I'm just saying that's your love language. You like time. You like time. You don't really like gifts. Gifts ain't really your thing. Some women love gifts and all that kind of stuff. You rather have acts of service. So I think that's why if you're gonna add value. But you know, one of the number one things I hear from men though, they don't feel appreciated.
Oh.
They feel like the woman don't see them. Feel like they be working hard and doing all that. They just don't feel appreciated. I get that from a lot of guys. They be like, man, I don't feel appreciated. I don't feel valued. I'm a good man. Because most good men, they not only doing stuff for their house, they taking care of other people's houses. They dealing with the kids. So a lot of guys, when I talk to a lot of guys, that'd be one of the things they talk about. I think you can
show, but as a wife, or if you're seriously dating someone, I think you show. I think you just affirm them.
Right, but a lot of times guys don't get that. Some guys don't get that.
Huh? Why do you think? You know what? I find that interesting. I would love to ask some women, like, hey, y'all in the chat, why do you think men feel that way? That they feel like they if you're dating them, that they're not affirmed? Do you think we take it for granted? I know sometimes I can take it for granted.
I think
can
some
take
guys
for
just
granted
feel
like the water's on,
Yeah.
electricity's on, because I feel like, well, Jack, I'm working too.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
no, I think
on.
a lot of guys just feel, I think because guys are performance oriented, which means they measure themselves by what they do and their skills and the work they put in, whether on the job or at home. A big part of their lives is being affirmed and celebrated by a woman that says, "Man, you did a great job with that. I love the kind of father you are. I love the kind of man you are. I love how spiritual you are. I love,
But you
man,
know what?
you're good at what you do." That means a lot to a man.
I think women, we'll take it for granted, but not necessarily we take it for granted. We feel like, I shouldn't have to tell you.
I know he's supposed to do it.
I know. Like, you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, I know
but
he's supposed to do it.
But you still should say,
Exactly.
thank you and I see you.
Right,
Because the
that's
main
all.
thing is your partner wants to feel like you see them.
Yeah, he knows he's supposed to do it, but he still appreciates
You saying,
somebody saying, "Man, I see you. You should take out that trash.
I love
you should put that trash on the curb, bro. You know,
Yeah.
you sure did sit in carpool." And I know he's supposed to do it.
Right.
But thank you for being present with our kids the way that you are. That
Yeah.
just means a lot for us.
I know sometimes when I've gone through a season where I've taken you for granted and so on, I'll talk to another, whether they're single, whether they're dating, whether they're married, and they be having some raggedy husbands. And I'd be like, you know what? He's the best.
Yes.
My man is the best. And I'm about to let him know he's the best any way possible. But I feel like sometimes we do take it for granted.
It is. I mean, I think it happens to women and it happens to men, both. But that's why you got to add value. I mean, because at the end of the day, when a person feels underappreciated, it's the same thing with a job. I mean, a lot of people at work, right? They'll feel like I'm working really hard, I'm underappreciated, and it affects their performance. It affects how they show up. It affects the same way in your marriage, right? Or relationship. If you don't feel like that person values the work you put in, how hard you hustling, if you got to come home, work all day, then you got to stay up late paying the bills, then you got to wake up, then you got to get the kid, then you got to, it just be like, man, somebody got to see me. Somebody got to see me. And because when you feel underappreciated, that also opens the doors to other people that then see you. The coworker that says, "Ooh, you such a good man. You're such a great man. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for doing this. You know, all that kind of stuff." So that's why I think that adding value is so important because everybody. I mean, some people put it this way: that everybody is an empty vessel that needs to be that their cup gets empty. And the job of friends and loved ones is to fill them up. Encourage. Everybody needs encouragement.
Okay, so babe, have you ever felt underappreciated, and how did you let me know that you felt underappreciated, or you didn't feel like I was valuing you?
Let me see. Well, there've been some times where I had to, remind you, or just, in love, I had to say, hey, man, hey, listen, what I do to remind you is I run the list. And I'd be like, I did, and that, I mean, hey, it's just what it is. So you know that how I'm showing up is an overflow of the work. I mean, sometimes you just got to do what you do. Like, I don't know all you do. So you have to sometimes say, hey, you know what? Listen, before you get over here on this little whatever issue you got, I got up at 6. I had to take this, then I had to go that, and I had to take that back over there. Then your son needed something, and so sometimes you end up running the list because the reason you run the list say, listen, you may not have seen this, but this is what my day looked like.
Right.
So I hope you understand that this is how it got. This is why we got what we got. I didn't just go grab this. So yeah. Yeah, you got to call the list sometimes. That helps you. That's the goal. The only reason you're doing that is you want to feel appreciated. So people see your day.
But sometimes I know when I've taken you for granted, I'll be convicted by it. Especially if you're praying for your spouse, like you should.
Yeah.
I'll be convicted. The Lord will convict me on it, and I'll quickly apologize.
I think the unappreciated part, I'm just thinking from a man's perspective, because a man is so big on respect, right? I think that unappreciation for him almost feels like disrespect, right? And I think for a woman, because she wants to be loved and valued, right? That lack of appreciation for her feels like like he don't love her anymore, right? And so I just think it shows up different ways in our relationships. And so I think it's so critical, right? It's almost like you got to make it a habit. Like every day, you almost got to say, hey, man, every day when I come home or every morning, make it a habit to say, hey, man, thank you, and I appreciate you. And you do a great job at this. You just want to be seen. Yeah. You want, because if you don't see them, somebody else go see them. So you gotta. There's
always someone waiting.
Oh, at least we think it is. You know, there's always somebody around there. Somebody around there. Yeah.
Said somebody around there.
Somebody around there. Yeah. So, man, y'all, adding value to your spouse is incredibly important. It's so important for you to do it. You can write them notes. You can send them a text message. You can send them an email. You can send them a gift. I almost brought flowers home yesterday. I was in the grocery store.
Please.
Now, but she has a thing about grocery store flowers. So I said, man, no, you missed out. You missed out on the flowers. I was going to get them too, boy. And I said, she got to think about those. So I said, well, she missed out today. I'll go get them. So I don't care what you do, but I think one of the habits we all need in our relationships is to find
the florist I like.
I know, but I didn't. This was a spontaneous situation.
Spontaneous.
This was not no call. I'll go deliver this myself from my heart with a little note. So I don't care how you do it, right? But find a way to add value. Oh, you could also help them out. You can say, listen, I got this today. You go do that, right? It's showing up, right? It's so important. It's easy to neglect.
Let them do it and don't complain.
Yeah. Let them help. Man, thank y'all for watching MadeToLast. We hope this has been helpful for you. Come on, like, share in the comments. Tell us how you add value to the person in your life. How do you add value to the person in your life? Put it in the chat. Thank y'all. Like, share, comment. Until the next time, this has been MadeToLast.